Welcome to Italy. This is the first time that I've been out to this part of Europe, and we were pretty excited to hunt down some of the world-famous Neapolitan pizza and see some sights before we went to meet up with some friends in Positano. The city was definitely unique. It wasn't as catered towards tourists as I would have thought, but that added some character to it that I actually really liked. One of the things that I learned about the pizza here in Naples was they're the first place to have ever invented pizza, or at least refine it to what we know today as pizza. And in order to call yourself a place that produces Neapolitan pizza, there's some really strict guidelines to their ingredients, and I believe there's an agency that even inspects to make sure that the restaurants are producing the right recipe. Naples was a really busy city, but honestly it was nice having so much within walking distance. There were some aspects that made it a little bit more sketchy than other European cities I've been to, but overall it was a really unique place and not your typical destination if you're looking for a vacation. After a couple nights in Naples, we headed out to the Amalfi Coast, and I was so excited for this because I've heard so many great things. This place turned out to be one of the most beautiful, picturesque places that I've been to personally, and everything about it was just calm, quiet, refined, and a total opposite of what we ran into in Naples. Check out where I'm at right now. So we're in Positano on the Amalfi Coast, and it is such a beautiful day. This place is awesome. On the way to breakfast right now. But yeah, last day in Positano, and then tomorrow we're heading out to Rome. It's so nice being in a place like this after staying in Naples for a few days. It is so quiet and so nice, as you can see. One thing to keep in mind while you're in Positano is you're going to be walking upstairs and downstairs a lot. There's tons of stairs, and you're going to be out of breath, especially if you're here in the summer. You're going to be covered in sweat, which is why the perfect thing to do is to head down to the water and enjoy the coast from another perspective. If you know anything about me, you know I love the ocean, and here in Positano and the Amalfi Coast, there was just so much character to this coastline, and it was breathtaking. I really recommend renting a boat while you're out there. It'll be a highlight of your trip, I guarantee it. This is definitely the place that you're going to want to relax, sit back, and enjoy some good food. And granted, it's not going to be cheap, but this is just one of those places where you could spend a weekend and just feel disconnected from the world. I really enjoyed that part about it. So one of the hardest parts about all of this is we booked an Airbnb at the very top of the cliff. And if you look at Positano from any of the clips that I've taken, you can tell that it's a cliff. The entire place is a cliff. And it's really nice how it's nestled in what looks like mountains that just come straight out of the sea. But unfortunately, if you stay at the top, you have to go down like 5,000 steps just to get to the bottom. And yeah, yesterday going down, my quads were shaking, and we stayed out a little bit too late eating dinner and ended up having to walk up at midnight. Man, that was something. But the walk is so nice because every time you pass through these buildings, you get a glimpse of the ocean, the other side of the cliffs. It's really nice. I've heard of this place before, but I've never actually been to Italy until this week. Really interesting place, and I would definitely recommend it, and I'm extremely excited for Rome. Probably all the things I know about Italy, most of it's gonna be what I know about Rome, so stay tuned for that. But I just made it to the halfway point of this cliff. Here goes.
Should we come in here?
There's a couple things to keep in mind. The Amalfi Coast is known for really good seafood and limoncello. Limoncello is a huge part about Naples, which I learned, and they have this lemon ice cream that you have to try when you're there. I now understand why Positano is on so many people's bucket lists, whether you're going to have a wedding, whether you're going to have a really nice getaway for the weekend. Positano has so much to offer if that's your type of traveling. But our next stop was Rome. We're going to be in Rome for just a couple days before we split ways. I'm going to be heading out to Switzerland, and I hope you enjoyed those videos because that was an incredible trip. So we parked in Rome, we got an Airbnb, and it was next to the Pantheon, which this was an entirely different experience altogether. There was so much Roman architecture, and just the story of the Pantheon alone really got me fascinated with what Rome has to offer.
All right, welcome to Rome. So my wife and I decided to spend at least one night in Rome. So her cruise ship's leaving from Rome, and my train is leaving from Rome to Switzerland tomorrow. So just wanted to walk around Rome, check out some of the sites. And the really cool thing about Rome so far is everywhere you look, you're just seeing one thing after another, whether it is several hundred years old. There's some sites we're seeing next to the Pantheon, which is over 2,000 years old. And this place is crazy. It's every single time I turn my head, I feel like I'm seeing something else from Roman Empire or anywhere in between. Ever since Catholicism came to Italy, there's just been a really neat mix of ancient Roman culture and more modern Catholicism all mixed in here in Rome. And yeah, I came out here. I didn't really know too much about Rome. I'm not Catholic, and I don't really know too much about the Roman history, but coming out here, every time I turn around, there's just something else that catches my eye. So I've just been walking for a few hours here in downtown Rome. It's a lot different than Naples, that's for sure. One of the biggest differences is in Naples, if you want to eat a meal at 11 o'clock or you want to eat at 4 o'clock, there's really not going to be anything open. They have pretty strict times that places are open, and besides that, everyone is busy doing their own thing. However, here in Rome, everything's open all the time. And yeah, this is probably one of the biggest tourist cities I've ever been to, but rightfully so. This place is really cool. When we're looking at all the temples that are in Thailand and how beautiful and intricate they are, most of them are actually a lot younger than some of the places here in Rome. So it's been a treat, and hopefully you get to see a few more things before I head out on the train tomorrow. We are staying next to the Pantheon, and the Pantheon is just gorgeous. But earlier there were way too many tourists for me to actually get inside. But outside of that, so far this has been a treat. So really happy we had a chance to come here. All right, I don't know if you've played BioShock before, but this gives me some Columbia vibes. Take a look at this. Right? Like, that's pretty cool. I'm surrounded by a mix of relatively modern architecture, and then next to it is just straight up 2,000-year-old ancient Roman buildings that are still alive today. And there's an opera singer behind me, and yeah, this is definitely a surprise. We were just gonna stay here for a night, get ready for an early morning trip tomorrow, but no, this turned out to be something pretty cool.
Our last stop was to see the Vatican City. So technically this is a country, it's 1 square mile, it's the center of the Roman Catholic Church, and it's just packed with history. It was so nice crossing a bridge and reaching the Basilica at sunset. It was just a great experience. But the next morning, it was time to head to Switzerland. I had so much fun, I can't even explain in this video, so I hope you enjoy it too. I'm going to post a few videos of that real soon, so thanks for watching.